Hey everybody, this is Toby Ennis with the Gypsy Kiss. Stick with me a couple of seconds and I'll tell you about our friend Margie Goldsmith. So, a couple of things while I'm doing this. Number one, happy July 4th, happy Independence Day, happy celebration of the signing of our Declaration of Independence, and do everything you can to ensure that what the Founding Fathers wrote in that short declaration stay true to form. If you haven't read the Declaration recently, you should do yourself a favor. It's an easy, short read. You should do yourself a favor and read it again. Secondly, I wasn't planning to do a video today. As a matter of fact, in our lineup, I told you I wasn't. But this morning, I got an email from Forrest with a link to an article that had been written by Miss Goldsmith. And I realized that we had quite a bit of archival information on her, so I thought I'd share that with you. So I'm kind of apologizing for not preparing you for this, but I hope you enjoy the information that I've got for you. So all of this is incorporated into a blog post that I posted earlier this afternoon on our blog at gypsykiss.com. So you don't have to write all of this down. You can just go to that blog post, and I will put a link to that blog post in the description box below. Okay, looks like this. So the article is entitled New Short Article on Fenn Treasure by Margie Goldsmith. That picture is actually a photograph that was taken from the article, with permission, of course. And if you click on the photograph, it will take you directly to the article. But there was some other information that I thought would be important to this conversation, because Margie was one of the early proponents of Forrest and the promotion of the treasure. She had spoken with him as early 2011, and I think is one of the people that was most responsible for the expansion of the treasure hunt outside of New Mexico and to the rest of the world. And I'll explain to you why. If you don't already know this story, you should probably recognize her name already. But if you don't, let me tell you the story. So the first time Margie had written a post, it came in Huffington Post. Written a story. It came in Huffington Post online. It was entitled, Well Over 1 Million in Buried Treasure. All you have to do is find it. It was written in February of 2011, which was, 6-7 months after Fenn had made the announcement and the release of the Thrill of the Chase, with the reference to the treasure that he hid somewhere in the mountains north of Santa Fe. Then soon after that, she wrote a second article. She came back to visit Fenn in Santa Fe. They had become friends by this time. And she wrote an article in August of 2011, and it was updated again in 2017 with some corrections and some new information. But the one that made the big splash was the article that she wrote in Hemispheres magazine, and that was written, let's see, that was like in 2013. I put the date here. I'm going to have to go back for a second. So, yeah, January 1st, 2013. She wrote the article in United Hemispheres magazine. For those of you that aren't aware, that's the United Airlines in-flight magazine. So lots of people, literally all over the world, tuned into the existence of this treasure, and it got really, really busy and really interesting at that point. Then in 2014, in January of 2014, Margie agreed to an interview with us. So we interviewed her on our podcast at the time. So although this is on our Gypsy Kiss channel, it is audio only, but it's interesting. She was very gracious, very kind, very funny, had a real appreciation for what Fenn was trying to do with all of this. And so it was a fun conversation. I strongly recommend you listen to it, although I don't know necessarily that it's going to get you any closer to the treasure. And then the most recent article was actually published, let me scroll up here, in Forbes magazine, or the online version of Forbes magazine, on June 28th. And as I said, Forrest sent me the link this morning. And what I noticed, what was interesting about this is her first article, the value of the chest was 1 million. Second article, the value of the chest is 2 million. And by now, the value of the chest is 3 million. So I'm sure Forrest is happy to see that. It has the requisite picture of the treasure chest, the requisite picture of our favorite old codger. And the only thing I'm going to suggest is that down at the bottom, it's actually 2 pages. It looks like it stops suddenly, but it's 2 pages worth of articles. So make sure you press that continue button to get to it. And then the other thing is, so I found a couple of things interesting in the article. Number one is this Fenn quote that's, I think, at the top of the 2nd page. And the quote is, quote, Fenn says that one hunter got within 200 feet of the treasure, but so far no one has found it. The treasure is not easy to find, says Fenn, but it certainly isn't impossible. All someone has to do is solve the clues in the poem and the chest can be theirs. Fenn admits that one clue is the most important clue in the poem, finding where warm waters halt. So now, apparently, where warm waters halt is not only the first clue, but in addition, the most important clue. And I've also put a link to the interview with Radio New Zealand, and I've put it precisely to the point that where Fenn says that it's the most important clue in that conversation that he had with Jesse Mulligan. And what he says is the first clue in the poem is begin at where warm waters halt. That's the first clue. If you can't figure that clue out, you don't have anything. So it seems to me that in this quote, in this new article, he has reinforced the prominence and the clue-ish value of begin at where warm waters halt. Then later on in the article, the final paragraph is kind of interesting to me, considering what we've been talking about for the past month or so. Says Fenn, I think I will be a little disappointed if someone finds the chest this summer. So when you consider the gut feeling thing from last February to the gut feeling wavering thing this week, it's just kind of interesting to hear that he'd be disappointed if it's going to be found this summer, after predicting it, of course. So anyway, you can find all of this on our blog at gypsyskiss.com. There is, of course, a lot of other information there that you can use and review. Become a subscriber on that as well, so you get notifications of any new posts. But like I said, I apologize. I wasn't planning to put out a video this week, but who knew? You know, that's just the way it is. So anyway, let me get over to Lure 3rd, transition back out, and there. So Shelley and I will see you on Thursday at 1 p.m. With the most recent episode of Forrest Fenn Thrill of the Chase memoir book club. We're still, I think we're on the 3rd section, or part C, as Shelley calls it, of My War for Me. And we're just doing it a section at a time, and it's the 3rd of 7 sections in this particular chapter of Fenn's, and it's an important one. It takes up 20% of the book. Okay, so hope you find this informative, and happy Independence Day.